Everyone's talking about Andrew's arrest. The detectives, the questions, the Epstein Files, it's been impossible to miss. But here's what almost nobody noticed. Where was Sarah Ferguson when her ex-husband's world was collapsing? The answer just emerged, and it's more tone-deaf than anyone could have predicted. While Andrew faced interrogation at Sandringham, while Royal Lodge was being combed through by investigators, Sarah was reportedly checked into one of the world's most exclusive wellness clinics at £13,000 per day. And the real question isn't where she was, it's how on earth she paid for it. Because this is a woman who's supposedly been one step ahead of bankruptcy for decades, a woman who just closed 6 companies, a woman who's been evicted from her mansion and is, by all accounts, persona non grata back in Britain. Yet somehow she spent the entire month of January at a Swiss lakeside retreat that cost close to £400,000. In this video, we're going to trace exactly how desperate her financial situation became, what the Epstein emails actually revealed, and why people who've watched her for years say she'll never change. And toward the end, we'll get into the one decision she made that still leaves people speechless even now. It all started last Thursday morning. Detectives descended on Andrew's temporary home in Sandringham, dozens of them. At the same time, another team was combing through Royal Lodge, the mansion he'd just been forced to leave. Hours later, Andrew returned home looking ashen. He'd been questioned on suspicion of sharing confidential material with the late Jeffrey Epstein during his time as a UK trade envoy. For someone who thought the worst was behind him, this was devastating. The world's media was camped outside. The palace had no comment. His family stayed silent. And Sarah? She was nowhere to be found. For weeks, nobody knew where she'd gone. Some assumed she was lying low somewhere in the UK, waiting for the storm to pass. Others thought maybe she'd slipped off to a friend's estate. But the truth was stranger and far more expensive. According to sources in Switzerland, Sarah had checked into the Paracelsus Recovery Clinic in Zurich just after Christmas. She stayed until the end of January. That's an entire month. The clinic charges around £13,000 per day. If you do the maths, that's close to £400,000. For context, the clinic offers what it calls the highest standard of care for ultra-wealthy clients dealing with addiction, burnout, depression, anxiety, or trauma. Clients stay in a penthouse suite with lake views. They get access to 15 medical experts, a private chef, a chauffeur, a butler, and an on-site therapist. Paracelsus openly markets itself to celebrities, oligarchs, and royalty. It's widely considered the most expensive wellness clinic in the world. Now, I'm not going to dismiss mental health struggles. They're real, they're serious, and they don't discriminate based on wealth or status. But here's where it gets complicated. This is the same Sarah Ferguson who's lived most of her adult life with crushing debt. The same woman who, just weeks ago, closed 6 companies, suggesting financial trouble, not stability. The same woman who was evicted from Royal Lodge and is reportedly unwelcome in the UK. So how did she afford a month-long stay at one of the planet's most exclusive clinics? Did someone pay her bill? If so, who and why? If she paid it herself, where did that money come from? And if she does have that kind of cash lying around, is spending it on a luxury retreat when far cheaper options exist really a wise decision? At this point, given everything we know about her spending habits, maybe someone should just confiscate her bank cards. Because this isn't the first time money has mysteriously appeared when she needed it. The Epstein Files' millions of emails released as part of ongoing litigation in the US painted a picture of someone in constant financial desperation. In 2009, while Epstein was still in prison, Sarah reportedly emailed him asking how to deal with a multi-million-pound debt pile. Later that year, she appeared to ask him for £20,000 urgently to pay rent. The email reportedly said, "The landlord has threatened to go to the newspapers if I don't pay. Any brainwaves?" Another email, allegedly from Epstein himself, claimed he'd been helping her financially for 15 years. Then, in May 2010, she appeared to ask for a job. Not just any job, she wanted to work as his house assistant. The message reportedly read, "I am the most capable and desperately need the money." Please, Jeffrey, think about it. These aren't rumors. These are emails that surfaced as part of legal proceedings, and they show a level of dependence that's hard to ignore. But the most disturbing part isn't the begging. It's what happened in 2009, just days after Epstein was released from prison. He'd served time for procuring a 14-year-old girl for prostitution. His crimes were public knowledge. And yet, Sarah flew to the United States with her daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, to meet him. She brought her children, young women at the time, to visit a convicted sex offender. That decision, more than anything else in her history, shows a lamentable lack of moral judgment. She's never been accused of any wrongdoing herself. But the optics, the timing, the choice to involve her daughters, it's indefensible. And for victims of Jeffrey Epstein, people who are still fighting for transparency and justice, seeing her spend January at a luxury wellness spa feels like a slap in the face. This isn't about one mistake. It's about a pattern that stretches back decades. In 2010, it emerged that Andrew had paid Epstein £15,000 on Sarah's behalf to settle one of her debts. Despite her royal connections, despite living rent-free at Royal Lodge for years, she was constantly broke. Staff who worked at Royal Lodge have spoken off the record about her habits: designer clothes, extravagant holidays, lavish gifts, always living as though money would never run out, even when it clearly had. One former aide reportedly said, "It was always the same. Spend first, worry later." And when the bills came, someone else would step in. For years, that someone was Andrew. But now Andrew himself is a pariah. Royal Lodge is gone. The family has distanced itself. And yet somehow, Sarah still managed to disappear to Switzerland for a month. Since leaving Zurich at the end of January, she's vanished again. Reports suggest she's either in the French Alps or the United Arab Emirates. She hasn't been seen publicly for months. She's praised Paracelsus in the past for its discreet, bespoke care, and for being, as the clinic's founder put it, free of judgment. She's going to need a lot more places like that. Because back in the UK, judgment is the one thing she's not going to escape. Royal Lodge is out of bounds. The palace has made it clear she's not welcome at official events. Her reputation, already tarnished by decades of scandal, has taken another hit. And the questions people are asking about the money, the timing, the choices aren't going away. What stands out across all of this is how consistent the behaviour has been. Different crisis, different country, different decade, but the same story. Lavish spending, mysterious bailouts, a refusal to live within her means. And every time, when the consequences catch up, she disappears to somewhere expensive and waits for it all to blow over. Do you think she'll ever face the financial reality most people live with? Or will there always be another mysterious benefactor waiting in the wings? One thing seems certain: as long as someone keeps paying the bills, there's no reason for her to change. Maybe it really is time someone hid those bank cards.